What if one of the most disturbing horror movies of the year is coming from the DC universe? What's good, everybody? I'm Travis, and this is the Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. It is Thursday, April 16th, 2026, and today we've got body horror invading DC, a major Longlegs update with Nicolas Cage, and a marketing move that might actually mess with horror fans in real life. Let's get into it. So yeah, DC isn't playing it safe anymore. At CinemaCon, new footage from Clayface dropped, and this is not your typical comic book movie. We're talking full-on body horror, directed by James Watkins and written by Mike Flanagan. The film stars Tom Rhys-Harris as Matt Hagen, an actor whose face is destroyed by a gangster and then fixed, quotations, by a scientist played by Naomi Ackie. Except fixed isn't really the word. The footage shows his face literally melting, shifting, disappearing, eyes gone, mouth gone, skin crawling all over itself. At one point, he wipes his face and everything is just gone. No features, no identity, and that's the tone. Even James Gunn confirmed this isn't just a DC movie, it's a straight up horror film that happens to exist in the DCU. Which is wild when you think about it, because if this works, it opens the door for comic book horror to actually mean something again. My question for you guys, though, is do you want more superhero movies leaning into horror? Yes. Or should they stay in their own lane? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. This one caught a lot of people off guard. Osgood Perkins is officially returning to the world of Longlegs, and Nicolas Cage is coming back with him. But here's the twist. This is not a sequel. It's a new story set inside the Longlegs universe, which honestly might even be more interesting. The original film starring Makia Monroe and Cage pulled in $128 million worldwide on a sub $10 million budget and built a reputation off pure atmosphere, dread, and that completely unhinged Cage performance. Now, instead of neon, this next project is landing at Paramount, which tells you the scope is getting bigger. It's kind of weird because I thought they were going to be doing small stuff. And the world they built with occult elements, psychological breakdowns, and that slow burn investigative horror has a lot of room to expand. The question is how far they push it, because Longlegs worked by being controlled, quiet, and deeply uncomfortable. So let me ask you this. Do you want more from the Longlegs world, or should it have stayed a one and done nightmare? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Here at Final Cut, you know the deal. Quick shout out to our sponsors. First up, Fanatical. Hit those game deals and bundles while they're live right now. And Grove, don't forget to lock in those physical pre-orders. Add to the collection. Links are in the description. And finally, this might be one of the smartest or most dangerous marketing plays we've seen in a minute. The upcoming horror film Obsession is centered around something called the One Wish Willow, basically a cursed object that grants your wish with consequences. And believe me, it's no joke. Classic setup, but now you can actually buy one. Focus Features just launched a site where fans can purchase a replica for $6.99, complete with instructions. Take it out, make your wish, snap it in half, that's it. No reversals, no second chances, and they even dropped a hotline you can call tied to the lore, but, you know, they really don't do that. And this works because it taps into something horror has always done well, which is making the experience feel real. It's not just watching the movie, now you're a part of it. My question for you guys, though, is would you actually use something like that if it promised to grant your wish? And as a second question, what would that wish be? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Today's take. Here's what stands out today. Horror is getting more immersive, whether it's Clayface pushing body horror into mainstream IP, Longlegs expanding its psychological world, or Obsession pulling fans directly into the experience. The genre isn't just asking you to watch, it's asking you to participate. And that's where things get interesting. For today's Spotify poll question, we keep asking, what kind of horror pulls you in the most? Body horror transformations, psychological slow burn, supernatural cursed objects, expanding horror universes. And don't forget, if you've got a horror tip, trailer, or something we should be covering, DM us on the socials at HMUNCUT. We might feature it on the show. That's today's episode of The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure to follow so you don't miss the next episode. I'm Travis. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week. That's just how fast they go, people. Until then, you know the deal. More headlines, more updates, but we need you to do one thing, and that's keep the lights on.